What's up, Ninetails? What's up, Ochang? Howdy, howdy. What's up, Dead Man's Diary? Well, it's me, your biggest fan again. What is it you're working on? I got a reply last time, Chris. I thought you were still alive and you weren't missed the whole entire thing. I'm working on an adaptation of my book called Forming. You can see here in the lower right corner, lower left corner. This is for a potential show. I'm trying to pitch it. I'm storyboarding 22 minutes of a pilot episode. Operating at about 60% energy. Just feeling tired and low calorie. Drinking some electrolytes and some energy drinks. Yeah, if you look up Forming, it's coming out in September through Fantagraphics Books. I'm going to be doing a book tour as well as performing. I'm going to be performing this animatic live. At a couple places. One in Brooklyn. One in I'm going to be performing it in Portland. I just found out I'm going to be performing it in LA in October 1st. And maybe in Philadelphia, September 14th. I know I'm doing a book signing in Philadelphia. And then, yeah, Philadelphia, New York, LA, Portland, maybe Seattle. Nope, I'm not doing Arkansas. I'm just doing a limited book tour. I was going to do one in Montreal, but I got denied at the Drum Quarterly store. Would it fuck with your headspace to play if there's a whip, there's a way, or can we rock to the greatest Lords of the Ring song ever? No idea what you're saying. So anyway, that's what this is for. I'm about 10 minutes into storyboarding about the 22-minute storyboard. Based on my book. And there's lots of, it's interesting because there's a lot of, it's really like, it's like using the source material of the book to really expand into sort of like cinematic scenes and stuff like that. I think I just haven't been getting very good sleep, and that's a problem for me. But we're about to cut into... We're really on the cusp of like getting away from the backstory of how the universe was created, and we're going to get into the actual beginning of the book. I kind of skipped ahead in time and explained the formation of the universe to set up the series, because I wanted to start the series with a big bang, pun intended. I smoked blue lotus flower to help me sleep and dream. It could help you too. Now, what is blue lotus flower? So that's what I got going on. So we've got the Nomo. If you know my book, there's a character named Nomo. They're these pink slimy guys that are drippy, and I'm showing the like emergence of them as like cave people. Let me turn off the sound. So these two different species sort of discovering each other in the prehistoric era of this planet. This guy comes out of the ocean. A bunch of his race or species come out of the ocean. And then he looks on the land. He's horrified. Hey, thank you. And then we see this creepo peeking out from behind a rock. And our guy from the ocean is horrified. And then he's mouth breathing up close to the camera. He looks behind him, and all these other people from his species pop out. So I'm gonna show him turning his head back. Just do these poses in reverse. Oops. All right. And then second. There we go. I'm gonna copy these two. Bring them out over here. Oops, I need all these guys in the background though. All right. Can't wait to see this was done. Hi, chat. Pass the meth only Chan. Ochi-chan. Did you ever have an interaction with Justin Roiland? And if so, did he seem like a creep? I've hung out with Justin Roiland here and there back in the day. He did not seem like a creep, but I didn't know him well. But he did seem like a pretty crazy, wild kind of dude. Lots of that sort of like I don't know, crazy man energy. I don't know how else to explain it. But that was probably about 10 years ago. And then I texted with him a little bit, maybe 5 years ago? 4 years? 3? 4 years ago? Yeah. I don't know him super well, but I mean, obviously, back in the day, I used to listen to Grandma's Virginity podcast. I was a huge fan of it. And it was me and Penn and Tom's idea to cast him as Lemongrab. If I pre-order Forming, would you unban me from your Discord? No. Sorry, Raph. You don't know how to behave, man. You've worked with Ghost Shrimp a bunch. Dan was my BG mentor, and I did his online workshop, which landed me my first BG. I don't know. I don't know if Roiland was alright. I just... I knew him back in the day. He just seemed like a crazy animator dude. I hung out with him at Comic-Con like 10 years ago or something. I think that was the last time I ever actually hung out with him. A little bit. I forget what Comic-Con that was. That was like... I was working on Adventure Time. I don't know what season. Maybe season 4 or something. Alright. It's good to prioritize where you're, you know, what's important in life. Discord is not important. Was it the same one you saw Star Wars? No. I went to Comic-Con. I've been to Comic-Con since then. I've just like gone there, walked the floor, done a panel. I did a panel for Warner Brothers like 2 years ago for showing some of the cartoon shorts. Maybe that's when I watched the Return of the Jedi on the main floor or something. Okay. Let's do a little camera move. So we're going to start deep. close up here. And then we'll have the camera follow him. To about here or something like that. And then we'll have the camera go. Start to go here. And we'll have the camera go like here. I think. Then we'll have the camera go here. The camera go here. Somewhere like here, I think. Maybe not that far. Here. All right. Let's see how this plays. It's a little fast. I was late to hearing about them and was instructed by cute women that I had to be there to understand Boards of Canada. I tried. I'm a big fan of your art. Thanks, Manuel. Just watching your streams about evolution, and then we get in Rick and Morty to do their own revolution montage. Life is... Yeah, I just saw, actually, came up in my... I don't know, maybe Google was listening to me, but the Rick and Morty evolution montage came up in my YouTube algorithm today, and I watched it. Guess I didn't know the whole story. Too talky. I'm one to talk though. Sometimes I overwrite. Sometimes I overwrite dialogue. Seems like a cool concept though. Oh man, you gotta get your wisdom teeth taken care of. Is there such a thing as overdrawing a scene? I'm gonna say okay. Here's my feeling about that. I'm gonna say no. I don't think there's such a thing as overdrawing a scene, but there's also nothing wrong with underdrawing a scene. If you want to keep things feeling like simple and don't draw attention away from the main action characters. But I'm all for overdrawing under any circumstance. But that's just my, I don't think that's like a universal rule, but in my opinion, I don't think there's such a thing as overdrawing a scene. But I don't think there's anything wrong with underdrawing a scene. I had this debate about Mobius years ago with my friend Nate back in high school, where Nate was a huge fan of his like Arzak stuff that's like super over rendered. And I was saying that some of his more minimal, elegant stuff was more whimsical and less heavy. And he was like, no, his Arzak stuff is his best stuff. And it's a strong argument. And I think now, at this point in time, I just like to see hard work. I just want to see hard work. Okay, so these guys have made contact. I'm gonna slow this down a little bit. Put it on, I don't know what it's on right now. Might be on 2s. Gonna put it on 3s. Just let it read a little bit. Okay. Those friends pop up. All right, and then we're going to have a meeting of the minds, and they're going to be speaking psychically to each other. It felt like you thought making the speech more casual or colloquial, it would make all the really out of their phenomena seem more honest and unpretentious. But it's funny how, like in Kirby's dialogue, it makes a lot of sense for his dialogue to be dialogue heavy because it's more melodramatic and erudite. I think that's why it comes off you're being too dialogue heavy when it's as dialogue heavy as anything else. I think I'm mostly talking about my Adventure Time stuff. Is in the past I kind of got lost in the sauce writing too much dialogue sometimes when I could have pared it down and hit harder with a direct, you know, minimal dialogue. Sometimes it's funny to overwrite, but sometimes I'm sort of like getting to a point in my life where I really think I want to pare down dialogue to its essentials. Sometimes I fantasize having my art full of my characters and creatures on the entire page. I just hope it closely matches my imagination. Yeah, me too. I'm about to do something like that. Well, actually, okay, so I thought I was going to draw a big war scene here, but I think I'm just going to draw like a symbolic moment between these two species. And then I'm just going to punch to Emperor Angramenu or Ahura Mazda. Oh, I just got a pain in my back. I don't know what that's all about. Have I read any of the Worlds of Aldebaran stuff? I don't know. I don't know what that is. That's not the Executioners, whatever, those books. To me, that's like how Terrence Malick had to do voiceover in Tree of Life, even though I think he didn't want to. He was kind of forced to because otherwise the audience wouldn't be along for the ride. Yeah, that's like you know, the voiceover in Blade Runner that they made Ridley Scott do. Or, you know, you take any adult sitcom, any adult comedy cartoon currently running, and it's totally overwritten, script-driven style that I'm totally sick of. Remember when I realized you forgot your floaties? It's like, come on, let the art speak for itself. Gene Wolfe and George R. R. Martin. Okay, yeah, I've read the first bit of the Gene Wolfe book. What was it called? Something Son? Executioner's Song or something? Was that what it's called? We've talked about this a lot, Ocheng. Book of the New Sun. Yeah, that's the one I started reading. Yeah, Shadow of the Torturer. Thanks. I forget these things. It's hard for me to get into fiction. I get a little bit, to just like have a hard time. Could be a problem of mine that I have a hard time getting into other people's like imagined worlds. I'd rather like use nonfiction as a way of imagining my own worlds. Have I been taking my vitamins? No, I have not. I've been forgetting to take my vitamins. Unless you count drinking Celsius, which has vitamin C, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, biotin. You know, that's some vitamins. Get it however you can. I don't feel any different when I take vitamins, I gotta be honest. Pretty much just feel the same, except my pee is more yellow. I was hanging out in the sun today too. Alright, I gotta draw this landscape where the water meets the land. So, let's think about this. Wolf is a difficult author for people to get into for his novels too. It's funny because he did work that was less flowery and less hard to read since I got a vitamin B injection in my arm one time and that made me feel pretty good. I read was that Dying Earth? One of the Dying Earth books? Jack something? That was pretty good. Jack Vance. Have I injected anything harder than vitamin B? No. Although I was thinking about injecting what are those things called? It's like some sort of fake steroids. Not testosterone. Stuff that's supposed to like heal your muscles and stuff. I took a supplement version of it and it didn't do shit. Peptides. My brother was injecting peptides into his knee to repair his knee. Kratom. What's up, Lucky Space Cat? I don't know, Justin, my brother was trying everything, so it's hard to tell what works and what doesn't work. If you don't do like controlled whatever, you know? There's no way to know. You just like throw everything at the problem and you don't know which one actually does something for you. I've had a torn MCL for like 2 months now. It fucking sucks. Yeah, I wish there was a way. Maybe I could become an art maxing influencer. Maybe it's too late. I can't try to like ride that train of maxing shit. Art maxing. Where's my... Is that where the green screen goes? Did I watch Nick Edwards' The Alamo already? Premiered today. What did you think? I've seen it already, and I watched it again today, and I think it's great. I love it. I love his close-ups. And it's very sweet. Among other things, I think what Wolf was doing was injecting stuff he got from speculative fiction and he started around the Orbit series, edited by Damon Knight's reapproach Dying Earth, which seems more related to people like Michael Moorcock or Robert E. Howard. It's never too late to... You know, I was talking to a guy today whose brother is like a PR, social media PR, or not his brother, his, yeah, his brother's roommate is like a PR something. Social media manager. And we were talking today about how YouTube's algorithm benefits people who are like make if you're an animator or a video game designer, you make videos about how to animate and how to, like, how-to videos, essentially, how to design, process videos, how to design games, how to make money in animation, all this kind of stuff, instead of actually making anything. And this whole YouTube channel is where really talented, seemingly, animators and game developers spend all their time just chasing clicks and making videos about making stuff. And I was like, I don't even know how to make videos about that's a whole thing. You gotta edit videos together, like instructing, that's a whole thing you gotta like spend your time doing rather than making something. I don't know, and then you're trapped in this, like, you know, world of educational videos, which maybe is cool, but you never actually made the thing you wanted to make, I don't think. I think if you're an artist, the last thing you want to do is just be the guy who chases clicks by telling people how to make stuff. Would I rather go and see an animated movie that's incredibly well drawn from a technical level, like Moving Mobius comic, that was just a constant visual orgasm, but had really lackluster script, or something that's really visually stale, like an episode of BoJack Horseman, but has a script as tight as Back to the Future? Spectacular. I would rather watch something that is, I think I'd rather see, okay. Is it made by an auteur, like a really small team, or is it made by a big corporation, like put out by Warner Brothers or, you know, Neon or something like that? Because that would affect my decision. Because there's a guy named what's his name? He made Empress of Darkness and he made Nova Seed. He animated them himself, and they're like almost. They're both made by Genndy Tartakovsky. Well, to use my example, the guy who made Nova Seed and Empress of Darkness, which are both like feature-length animated films that he made basically himself, and the story for both of those are really bad. But the animation is so good, and the fact that he made it himself really impressed me, so I love watching stuff like that. Nick DiLiberto, yeah. Oh, Ian Laser's here. Did you ever watch the Empress of Darkness and Nova Seed, Ian? Just such good animation. So cool. And, but such fucking bad movies. But I love that he did it, and I have so much respect for him. I wish he had actually spent a little bit of money on sound design and put better music to it. But if it's Genndy, I don't know. Gandhi puts out so much stuff. He gets greenlit for everything he makes. It's hard. It's hard for me to judge, and he does so many different styles of things that, and he has these really great art teams behind him. In Gendy's case, sometimes I think I want him to be try to be less universal. But maybe that's why his stuff gets greenlit. Like sometimes I would want Gendy to like team up with some like all-star screenwriter or something like that. Maybe. I don't know. Gendy can do whatever he wants, man. Gendy's fucking the king. But yeah, if you've never seen Nick DiLiberto's Nova Seed or Empress of Darkness, you should rent it on Prime and watch it. All right, I gotta draw this landscape. Did YouTube cut out for a second? I think Primal worked because it was silent. It was silent, you know. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like some of Gendy's stuff is a little thin. But he's done so much iconic stuff. I didn't see Fixed. I don't know anything about Fixed. I think he's probably proud of Fixed. I don't know. I didn't see it though. I never watched. I never watched Samurai Jack. You know, I worked with Gendy on Unicorn. I don't think I knew that. You worked on Primal though, right, Ian? I thought you worked on Primal. I've seen episodes of Samurai Jack, but I never I watched the whole series. Oh, okay. Yeah. Samurai Jack, I don't know why. I sort of avoided Samurai Jack for some reason back in the day. I don't know why. I watched Dexter's Lab. I watched a fair amount of Dexter's Lab. And I've seen some episodes of Symbiotic Titan. You worked on the Unicorn show. That was the one. That was like the one that Gendy was trying to get made for like 20 years or something. The one that was like Tezuka inspired. Okay, let me try to draw this landscape. Let me see. It's like an ocean. here. Beach. Yeah, but the 3 episodes was definitely an interesting experience. How was it? How was it interesting? I'd be curious to know if you can talk about it. So here's the rock he came out from.